Of course, this is now year 2 of the Adam Peters and Dan Quinn regime here in Washington. And just looking at them this offseason, the goal was to take advantage of having something special with Jaden Daniels. You made the NFC Championship game in a magical year last year. You have this cheap rookie contract with Jaden for the next couple of years before it eventually becomes $60+ million per year. And you look at what they did. Did Deebo Samuel have the best year last year? No. But bringing him in to this team on this final year of his contract, a motivated Deebo Samuel, love that move. Laramie Tunsil did not have his best year in Houston last year, bringing in a motivated left tackle who is better than what they had last year to protect Jaden Daniels. Love that move. And you're hoping, of course, to have the other big trade you made last year in Marshawn Lattimore to be healthy, and really bringing back all these players on the roster who were on these one-year deals last year, the veteran leaders like a Bobby Wagner, a Zach Ertz, and then even the other free agent additions throughout the course of the offseason with a Javon Kinlaw in the interior of the defensive line, Jonathan Jones, the longtime cornerback in New England, and the longtime defensive end Dietrich Wise in New England, adding more veteran guys, leader type of people. I love that part of what they did here this offseason. And then even in the draft, they did not have many draft picks because of those 3 trades we just mentioned with Lattimore, Tunsil, and Deebo. The picks they made are all guys who I think could have an impact right away in year 1. Josh Connerly, the offensive lineman out of Oregon, shoring up the offensive line for the present and the future. I think that is a very, very big deal. Adam Peters, the GM, knows how important it is to have an offensive line. That was probably the last good one left there. In round 1, they made sure to take him, and there was this clip that they put out there about how much their offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, wanted Connerly to be added to this offensive line, and Peters did just that. Their round 2 pick in Trey Amos, the Ole Miss cornerback, that was a tremendous value add for me. I mean, that was somebody who some people, including myself, thought could go at the bottom of round 1, a true outside corner who had an SEC best last year, 16 passes defended. So this is somebody who I think could also make an impact in year 1 for Dan Quinn's defense. And then even some of their other picks over here, their 4th round pick, Jalen Lean, he never really had great quarterback play in college at Virginia Tech, but they always tried to get him the ball by doing all these gimmicky plays just to have him have the ball, because once he has the ball, he is super electric. He could also return punts. Now you have him with an actual quarterback in Jaden Daniels. I think he's somebody as well who maybe could get on the field on offense here this year and have some flashy plays for that team. So I just love what they did, realizing the window that they are in. When you have a quarterback on that deal and he's a superstar, he's not getting paid a lot of money, go out there and add other players who will make that money that should be going to the quarterback, of course. So go pay the Laramie Tunsil contract. Go pay the Deebo Samuel contract. Go pay Marshawn Lattimore's contract. Go give Javon Kinlaw a lot of money and shore up the defensive line. I like what they did this offseason, attacking the fact that they are in this very, very important window with the rookie quarterback contract.
Yeah, and I was just looking it up here. So according to Over the Cap, they still have $23 million in effective cap room. They have obviously made some big additions to that team, like you mentioned, with the Laramie Tunsil, with the Deebo Samuel. You even take a little small flyer on a Michael Gallup. They start building up the offense around what you have there with Jaden Daniels. But they certainly have some money still to play with. Could you see them being a team that makes another one of these additions with maybe one of the free agent wide receivers? Or do you think that they would prefer to ride into the season a little bit, maybe evaluate where they are, take one of those draft picks, and maybe buy a contract for a player that could help really bolster and take advantage of that rookie contract right now that Jaden is under?
I think they like their current receiver room, honestly. I mean, obviously, we mentioned who they drafted there in the 4th round with Noel. We mentioned having Deebo. They're going to extend Terry McLaurin, by the way, at some point here in the coming months, give him a well-deserved contract extension as he enters the final year of his contract. I think they're fine with where they are at the receiver room, the tight end room, of course, with Ertz, Bates, the blocking tight end, who they re-signed this offseason, of course, Ben Sinnott, who they drafted in the 2nd round last year. I think they like everything they have over there. The running back room is one that I'm kind of watching over here. I think Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, they're good players. I think they could add one more guy there as well. I know they drafted one late in the draft, but overall, this is a team that I think feels like they're in a really good spot right now, entering year 2 of this regime. And I'll just mention this. I know they don't have as many draft picks as they would love moving forward, but just thinking about those 49ers teams, which is where Adam Peters came from, every single year they would make a trade deadline trade if they felt like they were close. I remember the Christian McCaffrey trade, the Chase Young trade, the Emmanuel Sanders trade. Like every year they would make a trade before the deadline if they were competing in the NFC West. So as long as they're competing in the NFC East now here with Washington, now that Peters, of course, is the GM here, I think they're going to make another trade over here during the season to bolster that roster as long as they're competing. So they have cap space. They have picks. They know where they are in this window. And I love the aggression they're having over here, realizing the spot that they're in. Just go for it right now. And I love that about them.